Hey class, my name is Lubasa Fololo. I'll be teaching you TCS241, sorry, that is Introduction to Music. I'm going to give you the course outline. We are going to study fundamental of music, definition of music, qualities of music, uses of music in our society, elements of music, characteristics of selected traditions of African music. I come again, characteristics of selected traditions of African music. That will continue the following week. Then after which I'm going to take terminologies in music. Then the next one will be rudiments of music, rhythmic organization, repertoire, voice and ear training, ensemble process, and contextual usage. Our class is going to be both practical and theory. Then it's going to be virtual and physical meetings. So number one, I'm going to start with the fundamentals of music, which is a definition of music. What is music? Music is one of the difficult terms to define, partially because beliefs about music have changed dramatically over time, just in Western culture alone. If we look at music in different parts of the world, we find even more variations and ideas about what music is. Definitions range from practical and theoretical. The Greek, for example, defined music as tones, ordered horizontally as melodies and vertically as harmony. To quite philosophical, according to philosopher Jack Attali, music is a sonoric event between noise and silence. And according to Edgar, music is something in which truth has set itself to work. There are also the social aspects of music to consider. Though it is culturally specific, music can said to be the art of combining vocal, instrumental sound, or both vocal and instrumental to produce harmony and expression of emotion. You can also say that music is a combination of pleasing and harmonious sounds. Though it is culturally specific, music can be said to be a combining vocal, sorry, go first. Sorry. I should continue. Okay. Qualities of music. The following are qualities of music. Number one, music sounds are regular and definite. Number two, music sounds are organized in artistic manner. It depends on the artist that want to combine the music. That is how he brings his sounds differently from any other artist. Number 3, music must be enjoyable and pleasing to the ear. If you cannot enjoy music, if it's not pleasing, meaning that it's noise, it is called noise. Music has been called the language of emotions. Why? Because music, like language, aims to communicate meaning. It possesses grammar, syntax, and rhetoric. This is a different type of language from the common language, the sounds that we bring out from our mouths, the words that come out from our mouths is different from music. That's why we say that it's a different type of language. Talking of music, there is music for all endeavor of man in all ramifications. It is an eminent part of all living. For example, the woman that is pounding using mortar and pestle, when he's pounding, you discover that there will be sound, there will be beats. It depends on how he's beats. Is it 2 times? Is it 3 times or once? That's why we say that music is in man's endeavor, is eminent in part of all living being, is an eminent part of all living being. Uses of music in our society. How do they use music in our society? They have different occasions that we use music. We can use music during festivals. We can use music during ceremonies such as wedding, naming, and anniversaries. We can use music for pleasure and recreation. You are bored and you want to listen to music that will take you time, that you want to be relieved from some tensions. Use music. Use music in sports and exercises. Use music in religious worship. We also use music while teaching, especially the nursery and the primary schools. Why not the university? Because even in our theater arts, we use music a lot because there are plays that goes along with music. We use music for therapeutic, which means healing. There's some music that are made, they are done for healing process. Then we use music also for lullaby for babies, to put baby to bed, or when they are discomforted. We use music in advertisement and communication, that is in television and radio. Then the next topic of music is element of music. We have 7 common elements of music, which are pitch, rhythm, dynamic, timbre, texture, harmony, and melody. I'm going to start with 1, melody, which also means tune. What is melody? Melody is simply a sequence of notes that makes up a musical phrase. Number 2, we have harmony. Harmony is a pleasant combination of elements or arrangement of sound, 2 or more notes played to produce a chord. Harmony has a relationship between pitches. When you're talking of harmony, you will see pitches there. That's a pitch in music. A pitch is the property of sound that have variation in frequency of vibration. It has variation in frequency of vibration. It is the position of single sound in the complete range of sound. Sounds are higher or lower in pitch according to the frequency of vibration of the sound waves produced in the musical pitch. Then we have two types of pitch, definite pitch and indefinite pitch. Rhythm. Rhythm is the variation of strong and weak elements. In rhythm, we have duration, we have accent or sound of music over time, and we have beats. Number 5, we have timbre. Timbre is a quality of a sound independent to its pitch and volume. They are sometimes termed the color of musical sound. Number 6, we have texture. In music, there is what we call texture. That's the tempo, melodic, and harmonic material are combined in music composition. That's where you get texture, determining the overall quality of the sound in a piece. In texture, we have different types of texture. We have 4 types of texture. We have the monophony, the polyphony, homophony, heptophony. Those are the 4 types of texture which are defined in our notes. Then the last element is the dynamic. The dynamic of a piece is the variation in loudness between notes or phrases. Dynamics are indicated by specific music notation, often in some details. For example, when you are using a piano, the sound is softer than when you are using a trumpet. The trumpet brings out a noise that is louder than the piano. Characteristics of selected traditional African music. African music goes along with its local music instruments. So they are characterized with their instruments. The following are different types of locally made instruments family. We have 4 families. We have the hydrophone, the membranophone, the cordophone, and the aerophone. These instruments are grouped according to how they are made and how sounds are being produced from them. Number 1, hydrophones. They are self-sounding musical instruments. They produce sounds by vibration of their body when hit or struck. They are linked to the percussion instruments of the Western world. Example of the hydrophone, we have the ekwe, the udu, the gong, the rattle, to mention but a few. The rhythmic variation of traditional African music is produced by the local instruments. Number 2, we have the membranophone. Membranophones are musical instruments produced from animal skin or leather. The skin is used to either cover one end or both ends. When you're talking of skin covering something, that we are talking about simply the drum. Most ethnic groups in Nigeria make use of drums. Thus, different drums are given different names and serve different functions. We have the Yoruba, for example, that have their gudu gudu and gangan. The Hausa call theirs their own tombari and kasoko. They also call it gangan. The Igbos call it iba, and they have different types of the iba, that is the different drum. The iba eze, the iba egu, the iba momu. And the Ibibio also have theirs, that is called insing obong. Skin drums are either single-headed or double-headed, like the hourglass of Yoruba. The leather is usually held tightly with short pegs or nails. That is, I'm now trying to explain how to make the drum. They are held tightly with short pegs or nails, which are used to tune the drums. The drums are sometimes kept in the sun to dry for them to have higher pitch. But if you don't want it to have a higher pitch, you leave it in a cooler place. Then the next one, you have chordophones. That is the third. We have chordophones. They are instruments made by strings. Chordophones are more popular among the Hausa Fulani people of Nigeria, although some are also found in the south among the Igbo and the Ibibios. You have the lutes, the harp, the zither. Other chordophones with one string are goje and kukuma, while garaya and gurmi have two strings each. And we have also instruments, the chordophone, that are made of three strings. We have the molo and the gulu. They are made of three strings each. Chordophones are played by either blowing or plucking them. That is how you use your fingers to pluck, or you bow. The next and the last one is the aerophones. Aerophones are instruments that produce sounds when air is blown into them. Aerophones include horns, trumpets, and African flutes. Horns are made from various materials such as animal horn or elephant's tusk. Some are made of bamboo trees and others from calabash. Such instruments are played during festivals of obas, emirs, and chiefs. We have the African flutes. African flutes are made from wood. Most of the time they are made from wood, bamboo, reeds, cane, etc. The three types that are well known, especially in Nigeria, are the long flutes. The long flutes are common in the north, while the global are used by the Yoruba, and the end-blown flutes made from bamboo, which are notched by side-blown, are used by the Igbos. So this is the part 1 of this lecture. Then I'm going to give assignments. Your assignment is going to be define music. What is music? Number 2, mention qualities of music. Number 3, list uses of music in our society. Number 4, list and discuss elements of music. Number 5, mention and discuss the characteristics of traditional African music. Thank you for listening.